Hey guys, welcome back. We have an options update video. As you know, I've been doing the wheel strategy on TLT. Recently, that strategy has taken a turn for the downside. In today's video, I'm going to show you where I stand with these trades and what I plan on doing in the future. Let's get right into it. Alright, so we have the stock chart for TLT for the last 3 months pulled up on Yahoo Finance. And to start off with, on the 8th of November, we sold a put. That means that you're betting the stock will go up. We sold it against the 91 strike price. And as you can see from the chart, the stock unfortunately dropped that week. So at that time, I had to take ownership of 100 shares of TLT. At that point, we sold a call against the 100 shares that we owned. And we did this against the 91 strike price. As you can see from the chart, that price was exceeded. So we ended up selling back our shares. So in those 2 weeks, we ended up starting the wheel strategy and then closing it out. That gave us a net of 51, which we used to buy a stock called VTI, which is the total stock market ETF. On my very last trade, however, I think I really screwed this up. On the 26th, I sold a put against the 91 strike price for 73, which is fine. So as you can see from the chart, the stock goes up and up and up. And the expiry is actually on the 13th. Yeah, the expiry is actually on the 13th of December, which is around here. I got a little bit stubborn. I could have sold out and bought back the contract that I sold at a much lower price. But I got stubborn and wanted to get every penny out of the contract. And as you can see, the stock tanked. So on the 13th, I ended up taking ownership of the shares at 91. From this, a lesson I learned is to not get too stubborn and sometimes close these things out early. Since then, I've had ownership of TLT at the 91 strike price. And unfortunately, as you can see from there on, the stock has kind of tanked since then. So it's currently at 86, but I bought the shares for 91. Since then, on the 20th, I was able to sell a call against my shares. I did this at the 91 strike price for 23. But after that, since the stock kept going down, you don't really want to sell calls against it if it's too low, because you only do it for like $1 or so that's not worth it. So I'm currently at the point where I'm just kind of waiting for the stock to go back up. If you zoom this thing out to a 1-year chart, you can see that we're at like a 1-year low. So honestly, I think now is probably actually a buying point for TLT. Maybe I'm crazy for just looking at the chart, but when the price goes down, the yield goes up, so it incentivizes people to buy. That said, in terms of strategy, I'm essentially waiting for the stock to go back up to 91, and then I'll just reinitiate the trades. I'm not giving up on this strategy. One other note is that because I took ownership here, there actually was a dividend payout of $35.10, so I used that to buy more VTI. That said, this is one of the less exciting time points for the wheel strategy. If the strategy goes against you, you just kind of have to take ownership and just own the shares. You can't sell contracts against it if it's too far below. If you've been kind of replicating my trades, hang in there. I'll have another update video once I'm able to sell a contract against my shares. I've also been tracking this strategy and comparing it with others. So I'm doing an experiment where I compare doing the wheel strategy on TLT, buying TLT outright and just holding it, and comparing that with buying VTI and holding it. Again, VTI is the total stock market ETF. And I have a few notes about the strategy. All of the credits that I received from the wheel strategy I've been using to buy shares of VTI. And when those shares go up or down, I include those in this chart here. In addition, whenever TLT pays out a dividend, I use that dividend to buy shares of VTI. And what you can see from here is that all 3 approaches are down right now because the price of TLT and the price of VTI went down compared to where they were in November. But what you see here is that buying TLT straight out gives you the worst loss. Doing the wheel strategy against TLT is slightly less worse. And then the best strategy so far is to just buy and hold VTI. I'm going to keep repeating this strategy to see if there's eventually a way for this strategy to outperform buying and holding VTI. So stay tuned. I hope you guys liked the video. If so, like, share, and subscribe. Take care.